Hey everyone, welcome to
the Young Workers Show.
I'm Kelsey. I'm the rep and organizer at Kaiser Santa Clara.
I'm Angela Tamayo. I work at Kaiser San Jose in the call center.
I'm Nicole, or Striff. I'm the organizer rep at Stanford.
Yeah. And we're Young Workers Caucus.
This is our first episode of our new show, the Young Workers Show. What are we doing here?
So,
what is this all about?
What are we doing here? So the Young Workers Caucus has been a group that has really formed, I guess, for the last 2 years. 2016, it was actually the first thing that I did. Yeah. There was like a Young Workers Summit. And at that time, they found that it was a surprise that young workers, so people born after about 1980 or later, or roughly about 35 and younger, were 28 or 25% of the membership at that time.
Right.
So they were really trying to like engage those people to step up into leadership roles.
Right. Because only like less than 5% were actually in leadership positions at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since that time, this group has come together and we've been coming up with ways to engage young workers more within the union and just like give them a space to, talk about other issues.
Yeah, and a couple of months ago, one of our caucus members, Mitch Marseille, got up in front of everybody on our executive board and was like, "We want to be an official caucus."
Right.
So, here we are.
And now we have 19%?
19 members on executive board. Yeah. So, and growing.
Yes. So it's working.
Yeah.
And this show is gonna reel you all in.
But it's gonna be nice, we're gonna talk about our issues because, people born after 1980 have 300 times more student debt than our parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And half as likely to own a house as folks 40 years ago.
Right. Also the fact that we might not be able to retire till we're 75?
75. Or as I feel about that, not ever. If we're 75, I certainly don't want to have to wait till I'm 75.
I'm trying to retire at 40.
Yeah. But the good opportunity is we have the opportunity
change that.
Make a change.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so often, not only in the union, but other places, young workers, it's harder for them to obtain leadership roles. Yeah. So we really want this to be a space to encourage that and get people activated, engaged, and, leading their folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I think, talk about the fact that, this is probably the first union job that we've had. Anybody I feel who's been hired recently, and even if you had parents or relatives who had union jobs, the union looks a lot different than it did 5 years ago. Yeah. So. Yeah,
and so what we want to do is make the young workers almost a welcoming to the union, right? So especially when it comes to new employee orientation, that's something we want to work on as young workers, is welcoming those new members in to see what the new union looks like. We do things, obviously, we want to fight for good contracts. We want to fight for
issues that affect everyone else. We're working on the dialysis initiative,
right.
Something that necessarily doesn't affect our union, but dialysis affects everyone. If you ask 5 people, at least one of them has themselves or a family member or someone that they know that has dialysis. So we work on community issues as well.
Yeah, raising the minimum wage,
right.
Healthcare. We just had that big win in Maine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's a ton of cool shit that we get to do in the community that just benefits everybody.
Yeah. Right.
And so this is about showing what we can do when we do this together.
Right. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Maine, we had one of our young workers actually go live on Instagram, and they were knocking on doors and they were expanding Medicaid, trying to get the ballot to expand Medicaid in Maine. And it was awesome because people from around the country could just follow on our IG and see what was happening. And it was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're trying to make this a fun space. We do happy hours, but we also get our stuff done. We're serious, and you know, we have like just different things. We are on social media. We have a BuzzFeed article actually that explains like our mission statement and kind of dives into what the Young Workers Caucus is. So you should definitely check that out here.
Because that's a big thing too, right? We want to be like the social media influencers of the union.
Plus, I think it's so cool, like on any given day, we have people doing incredible things, like they're lobbying, they're in DC, they're protesting outside of the Trump Hotel, and like I just love the fact that people can pick up their phone for a moment and show the entire membership and whoever's following like what we're doing.
Right. So we went to the Women's March in LA.
Yeah, it was really cool because a couple of the members, it was their first march this year, and also there was a group of people, and so many people that were not even part of our group that were saying like, Women's March last year, it was the first time I ever marched. And I think the really cool thing about this movement is that it's kept them engaged, and plus the theme this year, like power to the polls, hear our vote, like it was just a really cool thing to be a part of.
Especially with the work we're doing right now at UHW, you know, we're circulating a dialysis petition, a ballot initiative. So we were able to, you know, tie that into the Women's March and go out and collect signatures. So while we are, you know, out there for the Women's March, we're still tying it into the union program as well.
Right. And it was just really awesome because we were surrounded by, of course, like everybody, but so many young people out there. Like this is just a time where all these young people are getting together, getting engaged. And we were there, like we felt the energy, and it was really awesome. Yeah,
and so many people were there. Like, I don't know what the final numbers were. I think it was like over 300,000 or something. But also, like, do you remember how long it took to get started? There were so many people.
Everyone was chanting, March, March, March.
And it took 20 minutes to get going. But once we did, it was like really nice. Like Latino Caucus was with us, and Grizel was just like leading the chants, and it felt really cool. I think we have footage, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, let's see what that looked like.
We got here at like 8 in the morning. We got here for the program.
SEIU, we are the Young Workers fighting for justice.
Everybody tried to march, but it took a while for us to move because literally there's like over, I heard 250,000 people.
Democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Attack, we gotta beat back the Trump attack. We gotta beat back the Trump attack.
We just got to the end. There's a really cool drum circle. It just feels really actually uplifting. Like there's so many people just our age and younger, and it's so inspiring, and older people. We absolutely are the biggest part of this march.
So yeah, that was really exciting to be a part of, like, and that just took me back to like feeling the energy and looking around. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but like so many people were asking like, where are you guys from? Or what does she do like as a real job? And I was like, this is what she does. Like she's professional. But just reflecting on the Women's March, I just want to go back to again, like how unique that movement was. And I think like, I don't know how you guys feel, but for young workers, I really feel like there's such a powerful way to connect with people on social media and online, because like there was no like commit, confirm, remind for Women's March. So many people showed up, you know, on a Saturday morning, like bright and early. So
yeah, hundreds and thousands of people because of social media and getting the word out that way.
And so I guess we should say like how you can get involved. I think that there's probably some place to leave a comment on here or reach out, contact. Our social media is actually at Young Workers UHW.
Follow us.
Yes, and get everyone else to follow us.
So, and these pins that you saw everybody wearing, they actually say like hashtag YWUHW,
which is our hashtag.
So, and there's a couple of different ways that you can get involved as well. So one, like Kelsey said, follow us. You have an opportunity to also take over our Instagram and just recruit other young workers and get involved. That's all you have to do to get a pin.
We go live often. You can search the hashtag. You can see what we've been doing in our org and constantly check on it to see what we're up to.
Yeah, and we do like a lot of meetups. Like we said, like we'll do happy hour, as well as like we're planning a blitz day for all young workers to get out and do some more dialysis signatures. So be on the lookout. You know, we'll post everything on our Instagram. So check it out.
That's this episode of
The Young Workers Show. Good job, team.